Hello dear viewers, and welcome back to our channel, where we delve into the intricate tapestry of royal life, bringing you the most compelling stories from behind the palace gates. Today, we confront a truly poignant and, indeed, heartbreaking development concerning a senior member of the British royal family, Prince Andrew, the Duke of York, and the difficult choices now faced by his daughters, Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie. It's a narrative steeped in complexity, loyalty, and the relentless glare of public scrutiny. A tale that underscores the immense pressure under which the Windsors operate. Before we embark on this deeply significant discussion, I warmly invite you to join our growing community of royal enthusiasts. Do remember to like this video if you find our insights valuable. And please, subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update on the unfolding drama within the monarchy. Your support truly helps us continue to bring you these in-depth explorations. It has been several years since Prince Andrew stepped back from public duties. A move brought about by a storm of allegations, media scrutiny, and legal entanglements that ultimately left his royal career in ruins. For many, time can dull the sharp edges of scandal, softening memories and allowing reputations to quietly recover. But in Andrew's case, the past has been a constant companion. The cloud over his name has refused to drift away, and even in his self-imposed retreat from public life, the Duke remains a figure whose presence sparks fierce debate and strong feelings. Recently, murmurs from palace corridors suggest that the matter of Prince Andrew's long-term future has once again become a pressing issue behind closed doors. These are not whispers of fresh allegations, but rather the sobering reality of what becomes of a senior royal who has been removed from the public stage. There are questions over his living arrangements, his financial security, and whether his continued presence even on the periphery is compatible with King Charles's vision of a leaner, more focused monarchy. In the midst of this uncertainty stand Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie for the Duke's daughters. The dilemma is as painful as it is complex. They have, by all accounts, remained loyal to their father, standing by him in moments when others in the royal orbit have kept their distance. But as women who now have young families of their own and lives largely outside the formal structure of the monarchy, the weight of their father's situation is one they cannot simply ignore. They must balance love and duty with the reality of public perception, a task that would test even the steeliest resolve. Beatrice, the elder sister, has long been regarded as the quieter, more reserved of the two, a figure of composure and restraint. Eugenie, by contrast, has embraced a more public-facing role in certain charitable endeavors, carving out a niche for herself in the arts and humanitarian work. Together they have cultivated an image far removed from their father's troubles, an image built on warmth, relatability, in the sense that they are modern women navigating life in a royal world that is itself evolving. Yet no matter how carefully they walk this path, the shadow of their father's past lingers. Family insiders speak of tense discussions between the sisters and senior royal advisors. It is understood that there have been gentle, yet pointed, suggestions that both women may need to further distance themselves from their father in order to safeguard their own standing. This is not an ultimatum, at least, not yet, but the mere implication that they must choose between the man who raised them and the institution into which they were born is enough to stir deep emotions. For Beatrice and Eugenie, Andrew is not simply a headline or a symbol of royal crisis. He is their father, a man who, despite his controversies, has been a constant presence in their lives. To truly understand the bind they are in, we must remember that Prince Andrew was once one of the most celebrated figures within the royal family. As the Queen's second son, he enjoyed a position of privilege and trust, earning the affectionate nickname Randy Andy during his bachelor days, a moniker that seemed more cheeky than damaging at the time. His service in the Royal Navy during the Falklands War added a layer of heroism to his public image, cementing him as a popular royal. He married Sarah Ferguson in a highly televised wedding, and for a time, the Duke and Duchess of York were the embodiment of a modern fairy tale. But as the years unfolded, personal missteps and questionable associations began to erode that image. His divorce from Sarah was followed by a series of business connections that drew criticism, and eventually, the allegations and legal disputes that would end his public role entirely. It was a fall from grace so swift and so severe that it left many wondering how or if he could ever return to the fold. Beatrice and Eugenie grew up in the midst of this shifting landscape. They have seen their parents endure public humiliation, media ridicule, and relentless intrusion. Yet they have also witnessed moments of kindness and unity within the family, moments that the public rarely sees. For them, the man the world judges is not the whole story. But in the court of public opinion, nuance is often the first casualty now. With King Charles determined to streamline the monarchy and reinforce its reputation, the position of the Duke of York remains precarious. There are suggestions that he may be quietly encouraged to relocate away from Royal Lodge, the residence he has long called home. Some reports even hint at the possibility that he could be moved into more modest accommodations, both as a cost-saving measure and as a symbolic distancing from the heart of royal operations. Such a move would be more than logistical. It would be a public statement, one that could not fail to impact Beatrice and Eugenie. The sisters are faced with choices that may define their future. Do they maintain a close public alignment with their father, risking the possibility that they too could be edged further from royal circles? Or do they create a deliberate distance, focusing their public work on charitable causes and personal ventures that allow them to stand as individuals, rather than as the Duke of York's daughters? Neither path is without cost. One risks alienating the wider family. The other risks alienating the man who has been at the center of their lives. Public opinion remains divided. There are those who believe the sins of the father should not be visited upon the children, that Beatrice and Eugenie should be free to live their lives without being tethered to his mistakes. Others, however, see their ongoing support of him as tacit approval, and argue that if the monarchy is to truly modernize, it must draw clear lines. The sisters themselves have remained largely silent on these deeper questions, choosing instead to focus their public appearances on positive, non-controversial engagements. Yet the silence is not without meaning. It speaks of a careful calculation, a desire to avoid adding fuel to an already volatile fire. Behind palace walls, the conversations continue. There is a recognition that family loyalty runs deep, perhaps deeper in the House of Windsor than in most families, precisely because they have always lived under such intense scrutiny. There is also the awareness that the monarchy is not a family in the ordinary sense. It is a living institution, one that survives only by adapting to the expectations of the public it serves. For Beatrice and Eugenie, the tension between these two truths may well shape their lives for years to come. Perhaps the most poignant element of this entire story is its quietness. There is no grand confrontation, no public showdown. Instead, there is a slow, steady pressure, the kind that builds over time, leaving no clear moment to point to, yet altering the course of lives all the same. The Duke of York remains largely out of sight, but never truly out of mind. His daughters continue to live their lives, smiling for the cameras when they must, retreating into private moments when they can, and the monarchy itself moves forward, each step carefully measured, each decision weighed against the risk of damaging an already fragile public trust. As we watch this story unfold, we are reminded that the royal family, for all its splendor and ceremony, is still a family. Its members are bound by love, by history, and by the unspoken rules of survival in a world that is both ancient and unforgiving. For Beatrice and Eugenie, the road ahead is uncertain. They must navigate a future where every choice is observed, every gesture interpreted, and every word measured against the backdrop of their father's legacy. And so we are left to wonder in the years to come. Will the Duke of York's daughters manage to carve out lives defined by their own achievements, free from the weight of past controversies? Or will they remain, in the eyes of the world, forever bound to the man whose fall from grace reshaped their destinies? Only time will tell, and in the quiet corridors of royal life, time is often the greatest judge of